Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you in MVC5 template how to create the custom login and logout using sessions with stored procedures. And here we got the output of that code. The login page, enter user ID and password. Before enter the user ID and password, let's check my table, the user details. And from the table I have chosen the username, the email ID and the password is user password. I am logging with the credentials with Charan, which is charan3k@gmail.com and the password is 1234. The first I am entering the user details, the wrong one, charan3k@gmail.com, and the password I am giving the wrong one, login. See, here we got a message login details failed. Now I am giving the right password, 1234 login, and we are redirect to the welcome page, welcome charan3k@gmail.com. When I log out, when I try to go back, see it's kicking back to the login page. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. The first thing, I am creating a stored procedure in SQL Server Management Studio. I am expanding the databases. Sample DB is my user database. I am expanding that one. The tables, I already created a table, user reg. Let's browse the table, right click, select top 1000 rows, and here we got the results of this table, dbo.userreg. Now I am creating the custom login page using stored procedure. The login details I am using, the email is the username and the password is a user password. So let's create the stored procedure. In the sample DB database, the programmability, expand that one, stored procedures, right click that one, new stored procedure, and here we got the default stored procedure code, which I am deleting and adding the name dbo dot user login, which is my stored procedure name. I am creating variables. The username I am using the email varchar 50 at the password varchar 50. Now the select statement, select email, the column name, and the password column name is the user password from the table name is dbo.userreg, where email is equals to at email and user password is equals to at password. That's it. Let's execute the stored procedure. Command completed successfully. I'm expanding the stored procedures, and notice here dbo.userlogin is added to my stored procedures folder after creating the stored procedure. Now the second part is the coding part. Let's open my Visual Studio. For this video tutorial, I already created a new project. Go to Solution Explorer, and the project name is the MVC Login Logout Stored Procedure. The first thing in this project, I am adding a class in this models folder. Right click the models folder, add class, and the class name login model class. Add Now in this class I'm adding the namespaces which is for the validations using system dot component model dot data notions. Now inside the class required error message is equals to please enter the username. I'm adding label display name is equals to enter user ID. I'm creating a property public string username get set required error message is equals to please enter the password. Display name is equals to enter password. Data type dot password public string password get set. So we have created the properties username and password with some validation error messages. Now go to Solution Explorer. Now I'm creating a controller in this controllers folder. Right click, add controller. I'm choosing MVC5 controller empty, add. The controller name is user login, add. Now in this controller class I'm importing the namespaces using system.data using system.data.sql client using system.configuration. Now the last namespace I'm adding the models using MVC the project name dot models. After adding these namespaces I'm creating a new action result index which is for post. I'm posting the data. Public action result index return view Now in this action result I'm adding the login model class LC HTTP post hello anonymous. Now we'll add the connection string in the web.config file. Go to Server Explorer, data connections, right click that one, add connection, the server name, after server name I'm selecting the database name which is a sample DB, this one, test connection is succeeded, OK, click OK. And notice in the Server Explorer under data connections we have added the sample db.dbo connection string, but we need that data source for this sample db.dbo. Right click that one, properties, Under connections, there is a connection string property. Choose this data source, the whole part. Go to Solution Explorer. Come to the bottom in the web.config file. Open that one. See here the connection strings. Just delete this data source and I'm pasting the new data source. After adding the connection strings, user login control, switch back to string main con is equals to configuration manager dot connection strings dot connection string. Now between double quotes I am adding the connection string name, which is the default connection. SQL connection SQL con is equals to new SQL connection. I created an object for this SQL connection and the parameter I am adding the main con. SQL command SQL com is equals to new SQL command Now in this SQL command I am adding the stored procedure name, which is dbo.userlogin. My stored procedure name I'm adding here double quotes. SQL connection dot open method SQL command dot connection is equals to SQL con. SQL command dot command type is equals to command type, which is a stored procedure. SQL command dot parameters dot add with value. Between double quotes I'm adding at the column name, at copy this at email, comma, and the second parameter is the object value. The object is the LC, the login model class. LC dot the username. Copy this, paste here. The LC username, the property is password, and instead of email I'm adding password is at password. Copy it, paste here, and doing a password. After password, SQL data reader SDR is equals to SQL command dot execute reader method. If SDR dot read method, the credentials, the username and password are right, I want to redirect to the welcome page. For that, here I am using the forms authentication. Forms, I need to add the namespace using system.web.security. Forms authentication dot set authentic cookie. It takes two parameters. One is the string username, which is lc.username, lc.username, comma. The second one is a boolean data type, so true. If the authentication is successful, I'm creating a session. The session name is username is equals to lc.username.toString method. Return redirect to action welcome page, else If the user authentication failed, I want to display the message. For that I am using view data message is equals to login details failed. I'm closing the connection string sql.close method. After closing the connection string, I'm creating the action result page for this welcome. Public action result welcome return view. That's it, we have done the controller part. Now we need the index view page. Right click the index, add view. The view name index I'm leaving as it is. The template I'm choosing create. The model class name is a login model class. The login model class. And now in the options I'm checking the reference script libraries. Click add. And here we got the index.cshtml view page. Come to the bottom. The input type submit, the value I'm changing to login. After this div, here I am adding the message to display if the login credentials is failed. h2 at html dot view data. The view data name is message. Copy it and pasting here. Now we need the welcome view page. If the login credentials are successfully entered, it will redirect to the welcome page. Highlight the welcome, right click, add view. The view name is welcome only, and the template also I'm not changing anything. Add. Now in this welcome page I'm adding the session data. Add if session, the session name is the username and the session name is this one, username. Copy it, is not equals to null. Welcome at, I'm adding the session username dot toString method. Else response dot redirect. The URL is the index page. So if the session is empty, it will redirect to the index page. At html.action link logout is a link name, and the second one is after logout the action view name is the index page. Now here I write the small JavaScript code to disable the browser back button. Script type is equals to text JavaScript function prevent back window dot history dot forward set timeout. The first parameter is the object handler, which is the function name prevent back between double quotes And the second parameter is the object timeout 0. Window dot on unload is equals to function null. That's it, we have done the coding part. Now before run this program on Google Chrome, the last important step is we need to change the controller name. Go to Solution Explorer, expand the app underscore start, route config.cs file, open that one. Our controller name is user login. User login, copy this one and paste here. The action view page is the index only, this one, the index page. Here what I'm doing is login page. The label have changed. Let's check the results in the Google Chrome. And here we got the output of that code. The login page, enter user ID and password. Before enter the user ID and password, let's check my table, the user details. And from the table I have chosen the username, the email ID and the password is user password. I'm logging with the credentials with Charan, which is charan3k@gmail.com and the password is 1234. The first I'm entering the user details, the wrong one, charan3k@gmail.com, and the password I'm giving the wrong one, login. See here we got the message login details failed. Now I'm giving the right password 1234 login, and we are redirect to the welcome page, welcome charan3k@gmail.com. When I log out, when I try to go back, see it's kicking back to the login page.